What is up, guys? Welcome to the Peach Pit. Welcome to the Peach Pit. Okay, this is the first Airbnb arbitrage property. Let's take you on a tour. Come on in. So I decided I'm gonna go down this Airbnb arbitrage path. I am so excited, and I'm gonna try to close on my Airbnb arbitrage property in the next 30 days. So today is like the last day of June. So it's probably been roughly 1 month since I've started this, and today is the first day that I'm actually starting to make calls, and I'm pretty nervous. Let's make some calls. This is honestly the scariest and probably the hardest part of all of this. We're doing calls again today. Getting excited. We're gonna see, can we close a deal today? I should add that it doesn't matter how many of these calls you do. I think like that first initial one of the day just always feels super awkward. Just keep making the calls. I'm gonna keep doing this. Good morning from Georgia. So I've officially moved back from Hawaii. I've secured a lease at a place, and I'm currently on the way to City Hall to try to get a business license and permit to legally operate this Airbnb. So we're going to see how that goes, and then in like an hour-ish I'm going to do the moving inspection and actually go see the house for the first time, and we'll start getting it set up. Yes, this is the living room, and I'll take you on a little house tour of what it looks like now before all the furniture is in here. Okay, so we have some Amazon packages, the first of a lot coming. We got lots of cleaning supplies, and then if we go in the kitchen, this is literally just like the tip of the iceberg. We just did a massive haul at TJ Maxx. Honestly, we have probably like $4,000-ish left to furnish the rest of this house. I can see why people pay for other people to do this. This is like not even half of all the things that I've bought. Oh my god. You know, not all days of doing this are fun. Like today, I am feeling very sad and stressed out. Like I'm feeling like I may have made the wrong choice. Today's current project, well, there's quite a bit of projects happening today. I'm gonna turn this swing pole here into a peach pink color. We are on the middle of week 3 of setup. I don't know how these people that promote online, oh, I did this in 1 week. I think that's a lie. Unless you have a small place like an apartment or like a 1-bedroom, then I could see that being for real. But if you have like a big house like mine with 4 bedrooms and 3 living areas and the outside area, like there's just no way. Alright, dining room is almost done. We got the rug here with the orange and blue. Got the teal chairs. We gotta get the painter's tape off and get the right lighting to kind of set the mood. Game room is almost done. Gotta sell these lamps that I bought that kind of just didn't work with anything. But yeah, we got the pool table and we got the neon sign done. Get the dog in. Come on, dog. Now we come in. We got the TV. We got the streaming. I would say in total, this room, I tried to ballpark this so you guys could kind of get an idea about how much all of this is going to cost. And I did go a little bit on the higher end with the decor, like just having a lot more stuff. I wouldn't say the stuff was expensive. It was more just a lot of things so the house kind of felt full. So for example, this room, this cost around $1,000, just this couch alone, $930. We've got the coffee table was $150, the rug was like $150, chairs, all of this. Pretty much everything you're seeing here in total from my calculations was actually about $2,500. So that just to get this part furnished here. And even some of this here is actually a little DIY as well, because we're trying to save some money here. So my sister helped me do all of it. Pretty much put half of this house together with me. So she'll show you some of the stuff that we DIY. Did you think you weren't going to be in this?
Yes. We did actually cut and super glue underneath, so now that the table, so it wouldn't stick out or anything. So now it's just like a nice little cover, and it's 2 tables, so they're just stuck together now. This table was not this color originally. Faith actually ended up staining it, so now it's more of like a red. And then we got some records down here. A little bit of a mix between genres, I guess you could say. Got some Kid Cudi, the Eagles.
Okay, now we're gonna walk over to the dining room. So I actually decided to get this room painted because it needed some juice, like something, you know? So we painted this wall. We actually had some help from people who know how to paint, because I don't know how to paint a damn thing. And so this is good as to get. And then this costs $800 for all 8 chairs and for the table, so it was a pretty good deal. These chairs are actually not that bad. They don't feel cheap. Then this rug was like $150, and then the chandelier, I hired a handyman. Well, my dad hired a handyman to replace some of these things that I know I couldn't do, or I would probably nearly kill myself. Yeah, it gives me like $50, $80, and it cost me like $40 in bulbs. So in total, this room probably cost me about $1,000. Which is kind of the trend you're going to notice here. A lot of these rooms are in the kitchen. It will be clean upon your arrival if you choose to stay. It's fully decked out. So most Airbnbs, let's be real, have very kitchens, and you can't actually cook anything in them, which is super annoying. And I knew I did not want that to be the case here. So we got the air fryers. We got all the different sizes of pots and pans, which are also yellow because we are limited. We pay attention to details. I've got all the utensils you could use to cook. I've got all the baking trays. I've got pretty much anything you could use. In total, did not actually take that much to stock. I think just based on the numbers here, I probably paid around $1,000 also for this room. We're talking about things like coffee. So I did put a coffee bar here because pretty much every Airbnb has one, so you gotta have one. And stocked it with like teas and creamers, decaf. And I chose to get local coffee, so it like adds that nice touch to it, and that ended up costing like $200. So there are some expenses that actually would be cheaper if you decided to do like a cheaper path. I wanted to have some of these details that did cost a little bit more. So in this case, this alone, yeah, it was probably like $300. That's $80 for the stand, the coffee, the glasses. I actually highly recommend Dollar Tree for wine glasses. I got those for like $1.25 each, which is great because guests are definitely going to break them. Around $1,000 for a decently stocked kitchen, but you could actually probably pay less than that if you wanted to stock it less. I also highly recommend adding little weird touches. So I have this is actually an Augusta local artist, so it's a nice little local touch. And the egg theme of the kitchen, I was like, I gotta have this. So here, Ron Swanson fan, you already know what's up. After you leave the kitchen, there's kind of like an island here that like makes the space connected, but you're in the den, or at least that's what we call it in the South. We call this den. It's like more of a second living room pretty much. And this room looks more expensive than it is because I actually got both of these couches for $100 each on the marketplace. So this was $200. This chair was, or this is not a chair, this is a table. This table was $200. This rug was like, I think $120. It's actually a washable rug from Amazon. I can link it down below. $200 for these couches, $200, $150. I think that was like $100, a coffee table. The art, we'll talk about the art later. The art ended up being more expensive than I expected. Do not be like me and try to put 20 prints in every single room. It just adds up very quickly when you're getting it printed and framed. And then I would say in total, oh, we also have the desk here. I didn't even think about talking to you guys about this desk. So I wanted to have a workstation here in case someone works from home like me. This desk I got off the marketplace for I think like $150, and then this chair was around $100. I wanted a chair that didn't suck. And the lamp was like I think $30 or $40 or something like that. So it honestly wasn't that expensive. And the internet here costs $60 a month, and that's for decent fiber internet. So overall, so definitely worth the money because a lot of guests will specifically try to find houses that have a desk in them. So if you are trying to do an Airbnb, you should probably try to have a desk in yours too. In total, I spent actually $1,800 in this room. So this room is close to $2,000. Actually, probably $2,000 because I'm like ballparking here. I probably spent around $2,000 to furnish this room because I wanted it to feel pretty cozy. So there's a lot of just like furniture pieces in here. Now we have our third living area, if you can believe it. This house was incredibly big, so there was so much furniture you had to buy. It was ridiculous. This is like our game room and kind of a, I guess like a recreation room is probably the best way to put it.
The neon sign, she got done from Amazon, or did you Etsy it?
It was like a neon sign store. Like it was a specific,
store?
Yeah, like an online store. Yeah, it cost like $300.
Expensive. Anyways, so then we got the shelf with all the games. Peach, of course. Georgia. She also does have some little workout equipment pieces. The pool tables, she's gonna have that stocked with s'mores and things like that. Then we have this cute little table for when people want to play cards and just sit and talk, things like that. With a cute rug that kind of ties into every part of the house that you will see in a little bit. The pool table, this is really difficult to put together. Don't recommend buying one. Okay. Anyways, ballpark estimate for this entire room, it did cost about what, $1,500? About $1,500. Oh, also, me and Faith painted this ourselves. Faith actually got this from our father before he had moved. So now they have a nice little sitting area by the pool. And then all the lights you see around the pool, Faith did. So now at nighttime, when people choose to night swim, you can actually see. And then over here, she put up a little swing and actually painted this. So over here, she put up some little lawn chairs and has a nice little fire pit. So at night, everybody can sit right here and get warm down in Georgia.
Okay. All right. We lost her. So, yeah, this is a fire pit that people can use when it actually is cold out right now. It is actually so hot, even though it's the first day of fall. You can actually swim right now. It's that hot out.
Yeah.
And so we have a fire pit. We got a fully fenced yard here. So the pets, bring them. We love them. The outdoor area was more expensive than you would think. So I had to pay $200 for a person to come and do this entire yard, which was actually a steal because another company actually quoted me at over $1,000. Because I don't know if you can see, I got bushes like everywhere in this house. And you have to even see the front yard, but know that there's even more bushes in the front yard. And so all of this had to get trimmed back. Things had to get just polished. It just looked like ass when I got here, and I was like, okay, we got to clean this up. So that cost $200. I had to pressure wash this whole back area, which was $250. So we're already at like $500 at this point. We haven't even added anything. I had to buy $250 worth of chemicals. In total, we haven't even gotten to like the actual furniture. We're talking pretty much just like maintaining this. We're already like maybe $700 into this. Once we actually added the fire pit chairs, the chairs actually got on Marketplace. I got 6 of them for $50, which is ridiculous. And I got the fire pit for $50 at Walmart, actually pretty reasonable. I have to pay $70 a month for mosquito spraying. So this whole yard has been treated for mosquitoes because whenever I got here, I mean, I was getting bit up like it was insane. And I was like, okay, we're gonna get rid of this. And so I got this yard treated and it'll cost me around $70 a month. And then getting all this storage set up that's not done yet cost me around $100. And then the outdoor lights and the poles that she was talking about, this actually cost around $300. And I actually had a handyman who my father hired for me because he owed him a favor. He installed these for me, so I did not install this. I'm definitely not that talented. And it cost me, he did around $500 worth of work for me. If I had to guess, it's probably would have been like $75 worth of work for him to install these lights out here. And we haven't even touched the front yard, but if we're including the front yard cost into this, I spent around $2,000 to make this yard look like this, and it's definitely still not perfect. So hopefully you stay here. The pool's ready year round, so come enjoy it. Even if it's winter and you want to get a little cold plunge moment, she'll be ready. So we're in the living room. There's this hallway here. I should have turned on the light so you can actually see something, but in the hallway here we have the first bathroom. Yeah, this is pretty much for any of the guests that aren't staying in the master. We got the shampoo, body wash, conditioner. We also have the Did You Forget Something basket that I stole from Thanks for Visiting's Airbnb page, where you kind of just include these little bit of toiletries for guests that are staying and they have forgotten something. It just adds that little touch to make them feel like, you know, it's more like a hotel. Now, in this room, this is the twin room, as we call it. So this will be kind of where kids stay. This is really not much to it. This room cost me, this was probably on the cheaper end. This was around $700. That's not factoring in the actual cost of the bedding and beds. I'll give you a different price that was across all the rooms for that, because it was honestly just too hard to calculate it by each mattress and sheet set. So we're in the twin room. That was around $700. And then we have what we call the orange room and the green room. The orange room, and as you can tell, it's really just because of the colors of the bed frames that we call it that. So this room's just got some orange and blue. Nothing too crazy. This room cost me actually also around $700. The green room, we have, actually this is probably the smallest bedroom of them all. We don't really have much in here because there's not a lot of space, so I didn't want to add too much furniture. And this room cost me around $400-ish, more or less. Now, we're moving on to the master, so all the bedrooms are on the same side of the house. We haven't even touched, let me put a light on it here, all the sheets and towels that had to get bought. But yeah, we have an ungodly amount of sheets because you need at least double of all the beds, and we got 5 beds, so you do the math. Then we have the master. And in here, we have the dresser, which I believe I got for $200, the full-length mirror, the chair, the lamps. Try to make it a little cozy, so if you want to just lock yourself in here and not go deal with anyone else in the rest of the house, you could do that. I personally do that when I stay here. And this room cost me actually around $1,200. This bathroom is inspired by the name, the Peach Pit, but also my LLC is Peachy Keen Stays. And so of course, when I saw the Peachy Clean rug, I was like, I have to have this. And we got in total 4 bedrooms, 5 baths. No, that's wrong. 4 bedrooms, 5 beds, 2.5 baths, 3 living areas, a huge outdoor yard. Way too much. That's what it is. So in total, come with me. We'll go. So in total, I spent $5,000 on bedding alone. So that's the mattresses and all the sheets, the sheet protectors, the pillows, the pillow protectors. We're talking like easily $5,000. And so tack that on to all the price of the rooms. You're looking at each room probably costing around $1,000 minimum. Again, I picked things that were more on the decorative end. Do whatever you want. There's that. I paid $500 to a handyman as well. Well, I actually didn't pay him. It was more of a credit, but $500 worth of work for him to just do random things around the house for me that I couldn't do. The art around the house. So there's a lot of prints here, including the giant thing on the wall. Like that cost me $100 for the prints, just the digital prints, $390 to print it, $250 for all the frames. So that cost me around $600 just for all the art in this house. And I have probably about 20 pieces of art in here. So if you're gonna do it, I highly recommend doing it cheaper than how I did it. I had to pay over $150 in various extension cords and things that you just wouldn't even think of, just to like hide all the cords. Like you don't see no dang TV cords, right? The little details do matter. And so I had to spend around $150 in that. I've probably spent around $200-ish in supplies. I'm not even factoring in the actual cost of the, the vacuums, that like higher like ticket items that are divisive. I'm talking purely about supplies, so things like cleaning supplies. I've probably spent around $200 in that. And then around $200 as well in technology. So like the Ring camera, the noise sensors, everything.
So don't try to throw a party here. I will absolutely know about it and I will come for you.
So in total, I spent just around $21,000 to fund this entire place. And the crazy part is, the budget was like, I think 17. It was like, I can't even remember what the budget was. So that tells you how much I stuck to my own budget. And it was honestly like, once I started going over it, it was for things that needed to still happen. So I needed to get pool floaties, or I needed to get this specific furniture item because now the house looks weird without it. So like it really does start to add up. So I do highly recommend not doing what I did and not sticking to like your budget, because it obviously makes it harder to make that cash back within the same year. Went 5,000 over, but it looks super good. So we got the photos done. They cost around $200. They're gonna go live on the listing tomorrow. We're gonna see, can this place make not only the 20,000 back, but also 40,000, so that way I can break even, because that's around what my cost would be to break even at the end of the year. So this place needs to make at least $60,000. I'll put an updated video maybe 6 months or a year from now. Does it actually make me money, or is this place gonna cost me money? We'll find out. So this weekend is my first Airbnb booking, and so I had to move out of my house to go stay at my dad's, and it's literally a weekend of a freaking hurricane, okay? You can't even make this up. I don't know if you can see, but every house or every tree in his backyard has fallen, and one of them actually fell through the house last night in the room that I was sleeping in, and I got out. And thank God I got out of that room, because then eventually the roof caved in because of the weight and the water of the tree. So this is a crazy first introduction to Airbnb. This is nuts. Right now, I just walked through all that. I couldn't even get to my Airbnb. And so I'm walking alongside all these power lines. These entire neighborhoods are just blocked off. No one can get in and out unless they walk through the power lines. All right, weekend one of my Airbnb. I just got wrecked. Yeah, this is definitely not safe for guests to stay in right now. This is madness. All right, this is absolutely not safe for guests. This pool is just fried. Everything flew everywhere. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here's to my first booking on a hurricane weekend, and my guests have no power.